Life. We can either be bystanders or creators. Now is the time to awaken to your divine identity and the power of the I Am within, to create a joyous and fulfilled life no matter what your circumstances are. There are answers to life's big questions, and there is a spiritual path that you can walk in this modern world that leads to soul liberation and ascension. In this dawning age of Aquarius, we're called upon to manifest the light of the mighty I Am presence to the world.
Hello and welcome to the Fellowship Chronicles and to today's episode, one that cuts to the heart of the crises we're seeing in every sphere, whether it's politics, business, education, and especially the media. We don't just have a leadership crisis, we have a soul crisis in leadership. Because what we've called leadership for decades has often been driven by ego, control, image, and profit. But the world is changing, and fast. We can see every day how fast things are moving. We're entering an era where spiritual intelligence is becoming the new leadership currency. And if you're listening, that means you're being called to lead, not just from the mind, not just from charisma, but from the center of your divine being. So, what is spiritual intelligence and leadership? Well, let's take a closer look. Spiritual intelligence and leadership is the ability to lead from that awareness that you're a son or daughter of God, and that those you lead are also spiritual beings on a path of evolution. That means every action, word, and decision carries energetic and karmic consequences. True power flows from alignment with divine purpose, not manipulation or dominance. Elizabeth Clare Prophet said, "True intelligence is the ability to know yourself as a son or daughter of God and to act from that center of being." So let's just imagine what leadership would look like if we actually lived this. Imagine politicians who legislate from the level of their higher self, from their heart. CEOs who prioritize the spiritual growth of themselves and their teams. Parents who guide their children, not just with rules, but with divine vision. This is not utopian, not at all. It's the call of the Aquarian age. Now, spiritually intelligent leaders demonstrate certain traits that set them apart. And you may recognize individuals in your life, in your sphere, that demonstrate these traits. For instance, they are purpose-driven. They know why they're here and serve a mission greater than themselves. They have integrity. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of integrity that's performative, but the kind that is rooted in inner alignment with their higher self and with divine law. They have compassion and wisdom. They see people not just as roles or statistics, but as individuals, as souls. And they are courageous truth tellers. They're not afraid to speak uncomfortable truths with love. And an important quality of non-attachment. They can release outcomes and trust in divine timing. And this is a very important trait. Does this sound like Jesus? Like Saint Germain? Like Gautama Buddha? Absolutely. And these same qualities can be developed by anyone willing to put in the inner work. So let's get practical. How do we develop spiritual intelligence as leaders? Now, this is whether we're leading a company, a ministry, a family, or simply your own life. Here are some tools. Establish a daily spiritual practice, whether it's prayer, meditation, decrees, or communion with your higher self. This is your power source. Without it, you'll lead from ego, not from the heart, not from the soul. And call to the mind of God. Now, if you've never done this, try this invocation. Beloved mighty I am presence and holy Christ self, overshadow me with the mind of God. Guide my thoughts, my decisions, and my leadership this day, that I may act from divine wisdom and not human will. You can say this before a meeting, before a decision, before a crisis, in the middle of a crisis. You can say it any time. Now, journaling. This is a practice that some people love and others just don't care about. Either way, whether you write it down or not, you can ask yourself regularly, what would a son or daughter of God do in this situation? Am I leading from fear or from divine authority? Am I building others or subtly controlling them? Spiritual leadership is about being accountable to your own higher self. So here's the challenge. You don't get to sit this one out. We're not in an age where spiritual people can hide behind books or incense or deep meditation away from the world and leave the world to collapse under the weight of its own karma. If you've awakened to the truth of your divine identity, then you are being called to lead. Whether it's from the boardroom, from the classroom, from your kitchen table, or simply leading by example. Not with arrogance, but with spiritual intelligence of someone who knows who they are and why they're here and how to connect to their higher self. Well, that's it for today's episode. And if this stirred something in you, then share it. Step up, teach it, live it. And in our next episode, we're going deeper into the difference between the children of God and the sons and daughters of God. You don't want to miss it. Until then, remember, you're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to lead from the light. God bless, and see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today. And if you enjoyed this message, please subscribe and share. Until next time, be blessed and keep shining your light.